Today we're going to talk about everything that's been going on with the Black Lives Matter and the riots and everything like that. So, first let's talk about your childhood and your town. Did you have a lot of black people in your town?
One black lady, and I didn't know she was black until I was in my teens. It's when we visited with her. And I asked, because I thought she looked different, and I asked my mom what it was, why she looked like that, and Mom said she just got a lot of freckles and her skin's darker than yours. That was the extent of the conversation on Miss Bunbury.
So she didn't tell you she's a black woman or nothing like that.
No,
She
I
just
never didn't even know anything about a black person until I went to the hospital when I was about 12 years old. And then I had gone in like 11 o'clock at night, and I'd had supper that night early. I hadn't had anything to eat. They was going to operate on me the next morning. I couldn't have anything to eat. So I didn't have anything to eat all day, just about it. And I was hungry. My stomach was growling, and I was young, and I was ready to cry because I was hungry. And a black nurse come in and asked me what was wrong. And I said, I'm hungry. She said, I'll feed you. She took out 2 peanut butter cookies out of her pocket that was wrapped up in clear wrap and gave them to me. I don't know her name, but I could see her as if I could see her right now.
yeah.
I never forgot her all these years because she fed me.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that it was part of her lunch. Back then they didn't have a lot of money, and they didn't always have money for lunch. And I was just kind of, now that I look back, I'm kind of surmising that was probably part of their lunch.
Yeah, it just didn't register when you were a child that.
Now, I didn't understand anything about that because I never been around black people at that time and didn't realize, what a hardship that they really did have.
Yeah, because at that point in time, you said you was 12 years old, and Brown versus the Board of Education hadn't even come about yet, so black people still lived segregated, like separate but equal was what it was back
They
then.
couldn't even drink out of the same drinking fountains we drank out of. They couldn't live in the same part of town that we lived in, which I'm not saying that about the town I lived in. I'm saying about the majority of cities and towns.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we didn't have any in our community. Not that we, would have anything against them. It was just something that it just wasn't there.
Yeah. You just had the one woman in your town, right?
Yeah, right.
And she wrote in the newspaper. She wrote
an article in the newspaper, a little newspaper. And one reason I remember her so plain is she had a contest in there about an ice cream man and asked me what he was called. And he was called the Yummy Man. And I was the only one that knew the answer to that, and I got a whole big quarter for answering that question, which that was a lot of money then when you're 10 years old.
So she put in the newspaper, asked the question, what did we call the ice cream man?
Right.
And you were the only one to know the answer, and you won a quarter.
Right. Right. But I was never, I had never lived around black people or been around black people to even know what their circumstances were. I had no idea of how they lived or how rough things were for them or how people treated them. Or I knew nothing about them.
And then the one time you did happen to meet someone black, which was the girl that wrote the newspaper, and you tried to ask about it, all your mom would tell you is she's just a darker skinned
And had
a lot of freckles. So you never really heard the term black in general or colored or the N-word, none of that. You never heard none of that?
I didn't hear that when I was in the hospital. I just I guess automatically knew she was black because of her skin.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said anything one way or the other. It was like my own interpretation, I suppose, at that time. I don't know. You know, when you're young like that.
You don't really see it. You don't really care.
Yeah. I just know that she gave me 2 peanut butter cookies that tasted awful good.
Yeah. So, a lot of older women around your age, where you guys, you know, you lived in the time of separate but equal, and your parents had lived in a time where slavery and all that horrible stuff was going on, you know what I mean? So you were technically, you yourself wasn't raised up to be racist, but there's a lot of older women that were. Would you say do you have anything that you would say directly to somebody that was raised that way?
You mean raised as a...
Raised as a racist, raised to hate black people.
Well, you know, we're all human, and skin is only so deep. I mean, it shouldn't matter what your skin color is. It's what you are on the inside, your soul, your feelings, your attitude,
So, as you know from like watching the news, there was this piece of shit cop that decided to stick his knee in the neck of a black man who was yelling that he couldn't breathe, which is why everybody rioting is wearing the mask that says "I can't breathe." You know, what you got to say about all that?
Well, first of all, it was definitely wrong on the police's part. But what you got to realize with whether it's the black people or the Hispanic people or whatever race it is, white people, one bad apple cannot make the whole bushel apple bad. Just because one was bad or 4 really were bad, that doesn't mean that the whole place was. But in the same token, I believe that there should have been a protest. I agree with him 100%. But I don't agree with the vandalism. That is just plain stupid. People thinking they can get by with destroying other people's property, stealing things that don't belong to them. That doesn't make them look good. That doesn't serve a purpose.
That doesn't help their cause.
No, it doesn't help their cause. Plus, that doesn't make a good memory for the man that was killed. Everybody's going to remember him for the way that he was killed, but they're also going to remember the demonstrations that was done, and the vandalism is going to go right along with it, which is not, I don't think of my own thinking of it, I don't think was right. I think, you know, as long as it was done in a mannerly way, a decent way, you know, I think you would definitely get your point across. But by breaking things and burning things and stealing things that don't belong to you, what's that going to prove? That there are some really bad apples out there?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for the few that done the vandalism, it made the protesters that was trying to do right, it made them look bad.
Right. Even here in our hometown, when they were talking about doing the protest here, people were scared. I even had you lock your doors and stuff because I was worried that people would take it out of hand, which is sad because it was such a good cause for them to be protesting. It was such a good reason for our community to join together and stand up for something like that. And then these few people had to destroy shit and ruin it, you know?
But we had a peaceful one here. Everybody was real cordial and nice and respected each other and respected the rights. And, you know, it was
a peaceful protest here, which is what it should have been everywhere.
And I think that they got their message across too, as well as, you know, the peaceful part of it would be. But the vandalism part and the shooting part and the carrying on did not serve a purpose at all, except that there's a few idiots out there that don't know their ass from their elbow.
Right. I mean, I can understand why people are upset. Hell, I'm upset, you know? Like, that's just horrible what happened to him. But breaking things and stuff, it just didn't make sense. And not all cops are horrible, you know? Not all cops are horrible. I showed you that one video of this woman cop crying on TikTok over it. Not all cops are bad. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. You know, like I said, one bad apple shouldn't ruin a whole bushel. But that doesn't make up for what they done. That was definitely wrong in anybody's eyes. Not only because the man was black, but what did it do to his family, his children? What are they going to have to live with the rest of their life? That's not fair to them either.
Right.
You know, and it's not fair to his family that, you know, there was no real reason for that to happen. That was just pure meanness.
Yeah, it was
That's
horrible.
the way I look at it. I just hatefulness. I don't know. There was no reason for that man to have been killed.
Right. It's not like the cop didn't hear him saying, "I can't breathe."
But what I don't understand, he's saying that and the cop's holding him down and the three others are standing there watching him instead of trying to drag him off. And when one pedestrian comes up there to try to help, the cop shoved him out of the way.
Right.
I mean, what were these guys thinking? How would they like it if their brother or their father or their son had been treated that way? They wouldn't have been very happy campers.
Right. So we just watched on the news a few minutes ago, actually, about they passed a new law that that chokeholds are no longer allowed. What do you feel about that?
I don't think they should have been allowed in the first beginning. Out alone being now, why didn't they already have it stopped? Why do you need a chokehold? You know, if the man runs, let him run. You'll catch him sooner or later. You'll make a mistake again. You don't have to manhandle somebody. It probably, if they'd have been nicer to him, they wouldn't have any problem out of him at all.
Yeah. So
when you're black and they come at you, and it's been this way for so many years, what else are they supposed to think? I mean, that'd be automatically. That's just like me, although I'm white. But if I had been in trouble, or, you know, if I'd been on parole or on anything, and they come after me for something that they think I done, I'm going to be scared too. I'll probably fight back because of me not doing what they think I've done.
Right. So what you're saying is that he was scared of the police because he was black, right?
I'd say he was.
Yeah, most people, most black people are scared of the police because of things like this, and that is so sad because the police are supposed to be here to serve and protect.
This is true, but I'm a firm believer in not making a difference because there's as many whites that do wrong as there are blacks.
Amen.
And maybe they don't get caught up right away, but sooner or later you're going to get caught up in whatever you've done wrong.
Right.
And there's been plenty of whites that's had a problem too, because they're probably considered lower class people. You know, or maybe they live in a lower class neighborhood, so that automatically makes them think they're worthless. You know?
Yeah. Last question. If you wanted anybody to take any piece of advice from this video that we're making right now, what would that advice what do you want people to get from this video?
Mainly that everybody should be equal regardless of the color or the race or as long as you act human and kind and have love in your heart for other people. I mean, to me, that's the way it should be. If you meet a black person on the street, you speak to them. You know, and you make them feel like they're part of your community.